Pardon me. What does Frau want to show us? Kimijima report number 3? Well, we haven't activated all the triggers. The earliest we can start looking for the report is at 4 o'clock. So what could it be? This is the 3rd time I've been summoned by Frau. The first was to help her move. The 2nd time was to help her with the cheater hunt. She's probably going to make me do something. Again. As soon as I exit my house, Akio is waiting for me outside. She's sitting against her scooter, looking at her phone droid. When I come outside, she raises her hand and gives me a little wave.
Ohayo. ちゃんと5分で支度したよ。男の子は簡単でいいな。ね、コナちゃんの見せたいものって？うちもさっぱり。1時間くらい前に急にツイポでつぶやいたの。その後はこっちからリプライ送っても電話しても連絡つかないし。やれやれ。
I'd rather not get dragged all over by Frau's impulsive whims.
ねえ、カイ。
Akio is still leaning against the scooter. She makes no attempt to move. She looks down, kicking at the ground with the tip of her foot.
何？昨日とか一昨日とかどこ行ってたの？観光。観光？嘘だ。
Not really, in a way.
それが何？宇宙が丘公園には行った？行ってないけど。
It's then that Akio glances around and brings her face close to mine.
モノポールのことだけど。
There.
また落ちてた。マジ
？Akio nods intensely.
そっか。アキちゃんはあんまりあそこ行かない方がいいよ。また落ちてくるかもしれないし、もし頭にぶつかったら大怪我するだろうから。ねえ、やっぱりあれ、ガンツク2のどこかに使えないかな。アキちゃん一人で加工するつもり？爆発物かもしれないじゃないか。うかつに手を出すのは危なすぎる。そうだけど。どうしてもって言うなら、ドクのところにでも持っていけば。
Akio gently shakes her head, a sad expression on her face. She got the boot.
うち、あそこ出禁になっちゃったから。
Excuse me?
あのじいさん、怒らせちゃった？うん。
I wonder what happened, but now's not the time to ask. I'd rather not get her started.
とにかく、アキちゃんだけであれを扱うのは禁止。じゃあ、JAXA に渡すとかっていうのはダメだよね。
Nope, nope, nope.
カイ嫌がってたし。他のいつも世話になってる町工場に持ってけば。爆発覚悟で調べてくれる人はそうはいないだろうけどね。うん。もうちょっと考えてみる。
Man, I was not expecting more monopoles. Yejine was right. If I just leave things as is, the situation is going to get complicated. I need to protect my little chunk of joy, no matter what. At the airport, Frau is setting up a strange device on the apron. Juna had arrived earlier, and she's helping. The device is about 20 centimeters wide and looks like a cylinder on its side. There are all kinds of sensors and cameras attached to it. There are 4 in total wired up to a phone droid. I thought it was Frau's phone droid at first, but it's actually Juna's. The devices are on tripods, placed to face each other diagonally. The camera directions form a cross.
今日の朝届いた深度センサー付きの RGB カメラ4台。これでモーション撮るわけだが。
Got it. This is also we can capture movement from Model 2, like she mentioned before.
もう揃えたの？ ていうか買ったの？
ネットでポチった。離島だからもっと時間かかると思ったけど、そんなことはなかったぜ。
いくら
？4台で5万ちょい。
She's loaded. I'd expect no less from someone capable of buying an old hotel on a whim.
じゃあ純ちゃんの出番だね。
Juno opens her eyes wide.
モーションって？
She's apparently been setting up this equipment without knowing what it's all used for.
そういえば話してなかったっけ？
I was so busy with the Kimijima reports that I haven't seen Juno for several days.
コナちゃんからキルバラシステムをやるにしてもゲームと全く同じ挙動だと難しいって話が出ててね。だからいっそロボ2号機用に専用のモーションを用意しようってなったのさ。
そうなの？うちも聞いてない。
そのうち話そうと思ってたんだけど、まさかこんなに早く機材が来るとは思ってなかったから。
Plus, Model 2's blueprints aren't even done yet. Having just the mocap equipment doesn't actually amount to much.
確かにキルバラのあの動きを現実で再現するなんて絶対無理だもんね。
で、元空手部の純ちゃんならモーションアクターじゃなくてアクトレスに適任でしょってこと。
私は何をすれば？
テスト。
Brow whispers.
テスト？
機材がちゃんと動くか。
今からテストをするわけね。
Prow nods at my words and beckons Juno over. Juno looks puzzled, but does as told and stands in the center of the 4 cameras. Part of me wants to see her in like that weird mocap suit with all the balls on it. But it's a different kind of mocap. Okay.
盗撮って。
前後左右からどんな動きも絶対に見逃さない。絶対にだ。
Oh boy. Why is she getting so intense?
フラウボ、あんまりジュンのことからかわないの。ほら、ジュンってば泣きそうになってるじゃん。フラウボの方が後輩なんだから、そういうことしない。
空手先輩ならペロペロしてもいい。
Okay.
さすが変態。
We're not having any of that, thank you.
帰りたい。
いや、モーション担当は純ちゃん以外にいないよ。ロボ部で他に体動かせる人間なんて誰もいないからね。
それについてはうちもジュンがいいと思うな。
Juno draws closer to Akio and squirms, her face totally red.
でも私、大きいロボット怖くて。
等身大ロボットは怖いって言ってたけど、巨大ロボットも怖くなっちゃったの？
Juno nods apologetically.
この間の1号機くんのテストを見て、大きくて倒れてきそうで怖くなっちゃって。だから今回のモーションのことだって適任なんかじゃないと思う。サブオペだって本当はあんまりやりたくないし。でもほら、モーション取るだけだからロボに乗ったりするわけじゃないし。ロボ1の時にもジュンは必殺技を一緒に考えてくれたでしょ。やっぱり空手をやってただけあってジュンの動きってうちらとは全然違うの。キレがあるっていうか芯が通ってるっていうか、うちらのふにゃふにゃした動きじゃなくてジュンのシャキッとした動きで取るべきだと思う。だからジュン、お願い。
Akio puts her hands together, and in the end, Juno nods meekly while still hanging her head.
頑張ってみる。本当？ありがと
She's as weak to pressure as always.
じゃあ、
Oh.
あとは夜。
こらこら、どこ行くの？
Sorry. Oh, missed that. I grab Prow by the shoulder before she can scurry off. Yeah, you ain't going
これから
nowhere,
テストするって言い出
dingus.
したのはコナちゃんでしょうが。
太陽が眩しくて。
She looks like she's about to melt away. Is this because I dragged her around to find the Kimijima reports over the last few days?
まるでゾンビだね。日中では生きられないって。
南国の日差しはガチで殺人光線だろ兆候。こんなところで普通に過ごせるとか、先輩たちどんだけタフな。
フラウボ、せめてどうやってこの機材を使うかぐらい説明していってよ。
別に説明することなんてなくね。カメラの中心で動けばそれでいいわけだし、カメラとつなげたポケコンで録画ボタンを押せばそれで OK。
Simple enough.
純ちゃんさ、試しにちょっとやってみてよ。
どんな感じか試してみよう。そんないきなり。でもこの格好じゃ。いいからとりあえずなんだから。
Juna insists on changing clothes as tears form in her eyes. She's too embarrassed to perform in a skirt. Understandable. Ironic since I saw her practicing in the gym in her uniform before. Frau had her bring her gi with her. She didn't know you were watching, you weirdo. Takes her less than 5 minutes to change. I look at Juna's phone droid wired to the cameras and see her on the screen. That said, the image output is totally different from when you capture someone on screen normally. There are 3 images, and each one has a silhouette of Juna colored red, blue, and green. There's a screen swap button that swaps the feed between cam 1 to 4 at will. All cams record once.
じゃあ、とりあえず型でもやってみてよ。
スーパーはんぺんだっけ。
Super Anpen.
スーパーインペイ。
カメラは意識せずに動いてみて。
Juna looks embarrassed, but nonetheless bows before beginning her kata. I press the record button and film her from start to finish. I've seen her perform a few times now, and every time I can't help but think how weak she looks. Well. About a minute into her performance, she stops moving. Her expression hardens as she has tears in her eyes. Her gaze is focused on the camera right in front of her.
ジュン、どうしたの？カメラ意識しちゃったら頭の中真っ白になっちゃって。
Yikes. Her poor mental strength is out in full force. I mean, sure, there are cameras, but it's not like they're broadcasting to TVs or the internet.
ごめん。
Feels so bad for her. Juna drops her shoulders and stops the performance.
まあこれから慣れていけばいいよ。ねえフラウボ、今やったところだけでもこの場で見ることってできるの？
できる。
Frau swipes the screen, and a video player console appears at the bottom with play, rewind, and fast forward buttons. She presses rewind, allowing us to view what we just recorded. We try replaying it.
赤と青と緑の順だ。よかった。顔とか映ってない方がありがたいから。
Akio and Juna are also watching the video. The footage appears to have accurately captured Juna's movement. Since it records from all sides, it can actually recognize 3-dimensional movement.
これ使ってモーションいくつか作って、そしたらシステムに組み込むんで。じゃあ
Frau attempts to bail yet again, but I stop her. Yoink.
帰りたい。
Frau weakly clings to Juna's shoulders like she has anemia or something.
コウジロさん、大丈夫？
私が元気になるための方法はただ一つ。メガネとヤシオ先輩の薄い本を読むことだ。キリ。
Not a single one of us know what she means by thin book.
モーション
Oh, so all we can do is pretend we aren't listening. I
い
think
くつか
he
作るって言っても
knows.
さ、ロボ2号機はまだ設計図すらできてないんだけど、どう進めていけばいいわけ？
設計図できてからモーション取ればいいんじゃね？
Duh. Remind me what the point of urgently gathering everyone here today was? I knew I should have stayed in bed. That's me every morning. I knew I should have stayed in bed. I guess I'll go grab a bite at a lunch joint or something. By the time I eat lunch and return to the hangar, Frau's vanished. I guess she really went home. It's noon right now. I need to head to Chikura Cavern soon, but I'm probably not going to be able to take Frau with me this time. To be perfectly honest, she hasn't been much help these last 2 days, so it doesn't make much of a difference.
カイ。
Akio comes running over.
うちちょっと蒲田モータース行ってくるね。
Kamada Motors is a local workshop in Nakatane-cho. It's in the neighborhood, so the robot club goes to them for help once in a while. Not nearly as much as the robot clinic, though.
何しに？
ガンツクワンのモーターのことで相談してくる。
へえ。
Akio's still attached to Model 1. I'm not that surprised. She did say she was going to keep working at it. Since she's banned from the robot clinic, she's trying to get help from the other workshops, I suppose.
カイはジュンのサポートしてあげて。あの子。
I do feel bad she got kicked out of the robot clinic, though, because the owner, he totally jumped the gun, man. Like, she totally does care about Model 1. She's not quitting on him. That would mean it's been about an hour. That's quite a while.
ごめんね。本当はうちが見ててあげたいんだけど。
Well, it's not like I have the time to spare either. Juno wears a serious expression on her face as she thrusts her fist forward, surrounded by mocap cameras. She's not actually performing a kata so much as she's doing basic karate training. The blazing sun is out in full force, so her forehead is covered with beads of sweat. The phrase single-minded comes to mind. She was so focused on the cameras before that she couldn't even move. Now she's clearly over that now. Actually, I didn't know Juno was even capable of looking like that. She looks way cooler, even gallant, than when she was actually performing earlier. If she could be like this consistently, she'd have no problem at tournaments. But since she's already retired, I guess none of that matters anymore. It just means that in the end, her mental strength wasn't enough. So mean. He's not wrong, but ow. I doubt she was ever able to show her true skills in front of all those people. But that kind of mental weakness is a lethal flaw for an athlete. Every time you participate in a match, there will always be your opponent or a judge. Always someone watching. In some ways, it might be better to leave Juno alone while she does mocap. That way nobody can get in her way. To test this theory out, I intentionally make noise as I approach her. Juno freezes in place the moment she spots me. She's like a deer in headlights, but slightly more adorable. She looks at me and forces out a smile.
どうぞ続けて。
At my urging, she goes back to her practice. But it's obvious from her movements that things have changed since I got here. She's weak-kneed, and there's no snap to her punches. Most of all, that coolness she had earlier is long gone. In its place, she looks like she's about to cry. Her gaze is unfocused, and she keeps glancing at me. She can't really deal with all the pressure. The pressure of a single human being there. I mean, I get it. I totally get it. But still. So rough.
ぼちぼち。
俺に気づく前の純ちゃんはすごくいい感じだったよ。
そうかな。
自覚ないの？
あるかも。今ヤシオくんが来てからは恥ずかしさとか緊張とかであんまり見てほしくないなって思っちゃって。あ、ヤシオくんだからダメってわけじゃなくて、他の誰でもダメだと思う。
でも一人の時は集中できるでしょ？
うん。
だったらモーションについては純ちゃんに丸投げでいいかもね。
そんな困るよ。私一人じゃ何も。
でもこのままだと純ちゃんさ、ロボ部の中じゃ言われたことをやるだけの人になっちゃうよ。単に空手をやめて次の夢を見つけるまでの腰掛けなら別にいいけど、何もわからない分野だからって言われたことをやってるだけじゃ面白くないんじゃない？俺が偉そうに言えたことじゃないけどね。でもアキちゃんが抱いてる夢を叶えるためにはさ、スバルくんやコナちゃんだけじゃなくて君も大切なパズルの1ピースだと思ったりするんだよね。特にモーションを取るってのは肉体の動きをちゃんと理解してる人じゃないと。だから頑張ってよ、純ちゃん。
ヤシオくん。
Juna gets teary-eyed, like she's been deeply moved.
そんな風に言ってくれると。
I mean, that might be the nicest thing he's ever said. Like, the most encouraging he's ever been to another human being.
嬉しい。あんまり足引っ張ら
I
ないよ
can
うに。
love that angular smile. Just
もう少し頑張ってみるね。
そうそう、その調子。というわけで俺今日は用事あるんで帰るわ。あとよろしく。しばらくしたらアキちゃん帰ってくるだろうけど、それまで純ちゃん一人だから。
一人？
Juna is dumbfounded. I leave her on her own and jog over to the terminal. Now then, it's time for 3 hours of pain and suffering. I'm reluctant to do it, but if I quit now, the last 2 days will have been for nothing. Just as I sit down on my scooter, someone comes riding over on a bike.
あ、ヤシオくん。
Tenoji-san is wearing her JAXA uniform, as usual. She must have cycled over from TNSC while wearing it again.
こんにちは。
She returns my greeting with a big smile.
こんにちは。どう？2号機の方は進展あった？
それはスバルくんに聞いてよ。今のところ俺たちは彼の設計図待ちなんで。ちなみにそのシャツさ、汗で濡れてスケスケだよ。
やだ。ジロジロ見て、エッチだな。
Tenoji-san wryly smiles as she covers her chest with her arms.
動揺しないんだ。
まあ、減るものじゃないしね。
Are all women from Tokyo like this? Pro's also a perv. No, these two have got to be exceptions to the rule.
ただ、やっぱりもうちょっとラフな格好で走りたいとは思うよ。さすがにこの島、南国だけあって暑いから、予想以上に汗かいちゃった。
そりゃご苦労さんなことで。話をしに来たなら悪いけど今ここには純ちゃんしかいないから、あんまり邪魔しないであげてよ。
ヤシオくんはどこか行っちゃうの？
まあね。
デート？
そんなところ。
I'm going deep into a cave to have a secret tryst with a ghostly girl only visible through Eero.
じゃあごゆっくり。
An accurate depiction of the events. I wave to Tenoji-san and head off on my scooter. The waves are starting to approach my feet. These last 3 days have been exactly the same. As it gets closer to the evening, the water starts creeping inward. By the end, it's up to my ankles. I'm not gonna get washed away or anything, but the inside of the cave is chilly, making the seawater feel colder. Plus, since I can't move from where I am, an unexpected amount of my body heat gets sapped away. I look at the clock on my phone droid. I've got about a minute until I hit 4 o'clock. I've been looking at the clock over and over for the last 30 minutes. It's annoying how once I'm conscious of the time, it feels like the clock stops moving. But if I don't check it, I can't help but get insanely curious about what time it is. I want to get out of here as soon as humanly possible. I want to be done with this for good. The more time passes, the stronger that feeling gets. Am I really gonna hang in there for 3 hours? Maybe this was supposed to be a test of willpower. I've spent a total of 9 hours across 3 days in this cave, yet only the only people I've seen were a young couple. The pair, likely in their 20s or so, saw that someone else was in here and awkwardly fled. Middle of summer, and yet no tourists have visited the island's biggest tourism spot. I'm conflicted. Just a reminder of how far our island has fallen. I get it. With no rocket launches as of late, why would anyone come here over Yakushima, the World Heritage Site? Meh, it's not like me feeling bad is gonna fix anything. Yes! I hear Irie's voice coming from my phone droid. She's right, the time on my clock reads 4 o'clock. Yay! Hey, I got praised. Bitter smile on my face, I finally exit the cave. I kick off my sandals and walk barefoot on the warm sand. Feels great. I want to just lie down and roll around for a bit, but the sand would get everywhere, so that's a hard pass. I take a breath and whip out my phone droid.
Airi-chan, tap させて.
Boop. Irie appears on screen on her own. I tap her on the face, and she immediately turns into Gejine.
Access を確認しました。ゲシネモードに移行します。
レポート3のフラグは全部達成されたはずだけど、どう？
はい、すべてのフラグは達成されています。これにより、君島レポート3の AR アノテーションは可視化されたと考えて良いでしょう。
そりゃどうも。で、どの辺にあると思う？
不明です。
Despite making it visible, Gejine has no way of locating where it is, eh?
フラグの場所はこの辺に集中してたから、レポートそのものもこの辺にあるとは思うけど、とりあえずめぼしい場所を回ってみるか。
Himijima reports AR annotation as the classic power mark. I gotta find it. I guess I'll use Deludo map to pick out potential spots. Okay, so apparently, before I do this, I now have to do this to the robot clinic. Obviously, like, duh. This is the robot clinic. Could the Gimijima report be here? Let's find it together, kids. It's not, but this is. Millipede! So forgive me, it just that's how it feels sometimes. Ugh. Alright, yeah, hold media for my flesh. Hers are the best. She's such a freaking. If you wake me up, I will not forgive you. Kojiro and Masamune lovey-dovey stuff. Alright, it's that one. It's this one. Time. I think it's good to defend something we can do time wisely. It's amazing you can still try when no one else is watching. You are winning the fight against yourself. That's real. That is the fight that matters. Competition is great, but the true competition is with the you of yesterday. That's real. Hey, that was supposed to happen. I knew that. I did know that. From that spoiler-free guide that I definitely didn't look up to know that I was supposed to do that. All right. Time to collect this trigger. The Hamada Swimming Beach. Could it be here? Nope, not Tweepo. I'm done with Tweepo for now. Nope, not the map. I'm good at video games. There you are, you little bastard.
見つけた。
I knew it'd be here.
レポートナンバー3がダウンロードされましたよ。いつでもビューアーで見られます。
What a real pain. Report number 2 wouldn't have been so bad if it weren't for the typhoon's timing. That was the major issue. Yeah, the thing that almost literally killed you. That was the issue. But the triggers for this report were both time-consuming and a pain. Apparently, there are 7 reports in total. I wonder what the other triggers are going to be like. They might break me. Oh, excuse me. Either way, it's time to take a look at this thing. Look at this. More end of the world. Oh, I'm not reading this whole thing again. Yeah, this is the one where it's like the sun is going to blow. We're making... Or was that the last one? Oh, I probably should read it again, don't I? Oh, okay, fine. It's still fresh in my mind that on February 1st, 2010, the President of the United States announced at the end of the Constellation project. His statement contained the following information. The budget saved from ending the Constellation program will increase funding to robot-led space exploration missions. Furthermore, it will support manned rocket launch development by private enterprise, as well as fund development of the next generation engines that will send astronauts beyond low Earth orbit into deep space. That is what was said to the public. However, only a few know that it is all for preparation for Project Adam. Project Adam is led by the Tavistock Institute, operating under the Committee of 300, agreed upon as plan number 114 in the Human Ranch Project. After Project Noah ended in failure in 2009, this project was seen as a similarly promising venture by the Committee of 300. Specifically, it would directly interfere with the sun as... Yeah, this is the one... Sun's gonna explode, they're gonna make the sun explode. It's gonna kill half of life on Earth. The rich are gonna hide in bunkers and survive, and the living... And the survivors are gonna be used as... slaves, basically. Like... brainwashed, willing slaves. Yeah. I don't want to read all. This is a big thing. I'm skimming it because I technically read it before. Yep, Kaiba's space elevator. Oh yeah, the exoskeleton company became big. The amount of information here is dizzying. Yeah, it's so dizzying, I didn't read it all. Again, I read it the first time. But still, there's one name that stands out to me. The exoskeleton. Mm-hmm. Never expected to see that name show up in a conspiracy theory from a decade ago. Is this just coincidence? Is it unavoidable? Shady lady. I end up reading too much into her words. Really? Really? Too much? I desperately want all this to be coincidence. I mean, Misane only joined the Exoskeleton 2 years ago. I'm just gonna call it the Exoskeleton Company because Exoskeleton is so upsetting to my mouth. She had nothing to do with the company at the time that this report was written. And she's not even part of the top brass. She's just a test pilot and a PR girl. I think she is part of the top brass. I think she's that, but she like regularly talks to the big man up up top. So I think she's in on it. Whether, you know, she knows the full scope of it or not. But she's like, she's involved.
どういう意味なんだよ。
Not to mention, Misane apparently knew Koki Mijima.
愛梨ちゃんさ、
はい、お天気情報ですか？
じゃなくてミサ姉とは友達だったって言ってたよね。
はい、ミサ姉じゃなくてミサキですが。
君島コーとミサ姉って会って話したりしてた？
してましたけど、ミサキはマスターと話すより愛梨と話す時間の方が多かったです。何しろミサキは愛梨の初めてのお友達ですから。それにマスターはあまり人と話したがりませんでした。
ミサ姉と君島コは何を話してた？
ミサキはマスターにたまに質問をしていましたよ。マスターに興味を持っていたんじゃないでしょうか。
どんな質問？
愛梨の機能について、イルオで何ができるかについて、東京のことについて、結婚しているかどうかについて、種子島での住み心地について。まとめるとそれくらいです。
All just small talk. But I mean, that's normal, right? Misane was only a high schooler at the time. Koki Mijima was the amazing guy from Tokyo who made Irie and Iro. It'd be odd if Misane wasn't interested.
親しい様子だった。
愛梨の方が親しかったです。会話を交わした延べ時間は愛梨の方が上です。
It almost sounds like Irie was competing with her master or something. Or maybe that's just how important her relationship with Misane was, especially as her first friend.
あの二人が口論してたりしたことは？
口論ですか？ありませんよ。もしそんなことがあったら愛梨は悲しいです。
Is she really remembering things correctly? Irie's an AI. Unlike humans, her past experiences don't grow hazy over time. It's all stored server-side, supposedly. I have no idea how she works.
君のマスターの映像ってさ、どこかに残ってないの？できれば閲覧したいんだけど。
ないです。
ない？一つも？
Oh yeah, I think this is where I came up with my Koki Mijima is Michi theory. I'm still holding to that. It's the dumbest thing, but it means a lot to me. Koki Mijima erased them himself because he was pursued by the Committee of 300? Because he didn't want anyone to recognize his face? Because he's a teacher and club advisor at our school? So stupid. Irie shakes her head, looking like she wants to say, "That's outrageous."
そんな機能はありません。
そう。
But I'm curious about Misane. I get the feeling that if I search for more Kimijima reports, I'll learn something that I'll regret ever knowing. Well, luckily the next trigger is literally impossible, so I really am starting to regret it, Misane. There's a side of you unknown to me attached to these reports. I just hope I'm overthinking things.
愛梨ちゃん、君島レポートって7つあるんだよね。残り全部のフラグを教えてくれない？
はーい。じゃあゲジネにしてください。
Real pain to have to do this every single time. Well, no point pushing back. I tap on Irie's face. I can't help when... I just can't help think like, please switch me to Gejine mode.
ゲジネモードに移行します。
Don't punch the AI child.
こんにちは、ヤシオ
Just
さん。
don't do it. No matter how much you want
君島
to.
レポートナンバー4についての情報をお伝えします。なお、
レポートナンバー5以降についてはナンバー4を入手していないためフラグ情報がロックされています。
そうなの？
はい。
I guess I gotta do this in order. Sure made this whole thing a huge pain, Kokimijima-san.
レポートナンバー4の AR アノテーションは詳細な場所について現在不明となっています。 AR アノテーションを可視化するためのフラグをダウンロードします。完了。レポートナンバー4のフラグをお伝えします。1、君島レポートナンバー3を発見している。ゲジネより注釈。フラグ1はすでに達成済み。2、種子島の4カ所のおすすめポイントから撮影したロケットの打ち上げ写真をイルオにアップロードする。おすすめポイントの4カ所は以下の通りです。長谷展望公園、宇宙が丘公園、七色坂観望台、竹崎展望台。3、ロボクリニックに保管されている五次郎くんを起動する。4、ジオタグを付与した火縄銃を1発以上試射する。以上です。
勘弁してよ。さらにめんどくさくなってる上に実行不可能なものまであるじゃないの。ロケット打ち上げ写真をアップロードってそもそもこ
What
の
if you
4
can
年くらい
upload
打ち
past
上げら
rocket
れてない
launches?
し。
Like, maybe those pictures already exist.
五次郎くんって誰だよ、知らないし。火縄銃なんて撃たせてもらえないし危ないし。
We fit very hard on the difficulty scale. I'm already feeling bummed out. I was planning on collecting all 7 reports, but now?
とりあえずじっくり方法を考えるしかなさそうだ。
I decide to head home for the day, completely discouraged. I'm gonna check these tweeps. Cause I mean, I'm in that route, so I should be good. I think I should be good, because I'm already in the route to the end. I assume it's gonna be the Juna ending. That would make the most sense. Yeah. What the heck? Poor Akio. We just bail on her. I mean, it's not out of character, but damn. Sister Braun! Sister Braun! Really? Her handle is Sister Braun? Are you serious? That makes me so unbelievably happy. I want to just absorb this moment. That's amazing. I love that so much. Talked a lot with Tenoji-san, really nice person. She's the best when she's not being the best. Almost dropped spoilery things. I don't know. Don't want to do that. That's just rude.
こちらはあなた方が歓迎すべき情報をお伝えする用意があります。はい。とある実証実験の結果についてといえばお分かりなのでは？そういうことです。今この場でご判断。
Play Sans Gate.
これ以上
Good
待
game.
てません。
Or watch it, but probably play it too.
感謝します。
It's a good game and show.
ぜひ会っていただきたい人物
That's
が
my
いるん
public
です。
service announcement for the day.
ええ、もちろん例の計画に関係する人物ですよ。少なくともあなた方を失望はさせないとお約束します。はい、詳細は追ってくれぐれも内密にお願いします。では。
They hung up first. Power move. I take a small breath. I look outside the window and see the prominent form of Mount Fuji in the distance. When I first saw it, I was overwhelmed by its majesty. Now I've grown accustomed to seeing it and feel nothing. She's a real ray of fucking
工場の
sunshine.
カメラに戻して。
My phone droid sitting on the dashboard returns to the screen from just before the call. It shows the inside of Exoskeleton Company's Aichi factory, my current destination. I can monitor in real time. This factory is one of several X-Scad factories in Japan, but is equipped with the most cutting-edge technology. It's less of a production factory and more of a laboratory for building prototype units. Shown on the monitor is the rapid prototyping that the Exoskeleton Company takes pride in. It's what you would call a 3D printer. It takes three-dimensional data and builds it in reality. It's not meant for mass production. But that's not necessary when it comes to building a few prototype models. Rapid prototyping is optimal for this. It's a marvel that makes me feel like I was an idiot for drawing blueprints and notebooks in the past. You were a child, you tool! On screen, I see the latest Hug prototype taking form before my eyes. It's quite large compared to previous. I mean, that's like an astronaut being like, oh man, I feel like an idiot for drawing pictures of rockets in my notebook. It's like, what? Now that I've been to space, well, what a fool I was for dreaming. We've already reached the sales ceiling for medical care power-assisted suits, so now we're going to make machines of war. In fact, you could say we've sold too many. Exoskeleton Company is now moving away from medical care and into military and police service. In reality, the military and police units of various nations worldwide have already started adopting hugs. I mean, if every war was fought with hugs, like the normal kind, not the deadly machine kind, I think the whole world would win in a war of hugs. I mutter to myself and turn off the monitor. I'm not talking about those throat hugs either. You do with a hand, you hug their throat really tight with your fingers. Not that kind of hug. The good kind of hug. Mizuka-san is checking sales slips and doesn't even try to raise her head. Oh, more tweets. I'm gonna check these now that I'm in this route. I can check these flags. Is he talking about the check, like the triggers? Probably. Don't call him out like that. You're gonna ruin his secret identity. What are you doing? 4-0. I bow my head and make my way to the drink shelf. Mizuka is tapping away on a calculator and doesn't bother looking up. She responds with a shrug and lets the words go in one ear and out the other. The shelf is right in front of the register. I see the usual types of juices lined up. I reach for a pack of Skull, but stop myself. I instead grab the usual fruit sour melon. I thought I might try something different for once, but
Mizuka-san.
I call to her with my back still facing the register. No and never. I can't imagine why. I have no desire to eat one of those barftastic buns today. After a long moment of hesitation, I take a fruit sour melon to the register. Mizuka-san points at the steamer off to the side with her eyes. It's the middle of summer, yet she still has that cursed steamer going. Mizuka-san immediately stops tapping away at her calculator. Mizuka-san pushes the sales slips to one side, rests her chin on her hands, and stares out in the distance. I see, so she's kept in touch with Mizuka-san. She called me before too, which means she must be consciously avoiding Akiho. But why?
別にいつも通りさ。身内と連絡取ったり東京で会うのは恥ずかしいとかなんとかは言ってた気もするけど。
もともと電話が嫌いな子だったしね、ミサは。たまに連絡ついたって、結局私が一方的に話すだけでミサは聞いてるだけ。昔からそうだったろ。
I smile bitterly and nod my head as I place a 100 yen coin on the counter.
毎度。
I glance at the side of Mizuka-san's face as she puts the coin in the register. Something suddenly crosses my mind. The attitude shift Mizuka-san had when I last mentioned Koki Mijima and Airi. Does she know something about Koki Mijima? Of course she does! What kind of question is that? That's... Obviously. I glance over at the steamer.
まだ何かあるのかい？
Pick up my juice and shake my head.
いや、それだけ。
I hurry out of the store. Let's get the hell out of there. It's been raining since early this morning, so club activities got called off. I'm just glad it's not a downpour. Crazy showers aren't rare during the summer. Akio contacted me early to let me know that club activities were off today. I wasn't expecting to get a day off due to the rain, but actually, the weekend before Robo 1 was free too. Heck, you could say we've been working too hard lately. Not that I've done anything in particular. And so, with nobody to bother me all day, I plan on diving headfirst into Kill Ballad. Though there are a lot of things I should be thinking about right now. I'd rather just forget it all, so being able to focus on KB feels like a gift. Maybe I just want to escape from reality. After eating breakfast, I shut myself away in my room and play for 2 hours without losing. Doing pretty good. I go down to the kitchen and take a pack of Pocky without Mom noticing and pop it open. Break time. Man, Tajirin's lead over me has been legit shrinking lately. I might overtake them soon. No, they wouldn't let me pass them that easily. There it is. I stick a Pocky in my mouth and casually open up the leaderboards. Huh? The Pocky falls from my mouth as I look at the rankings. I can hardly believe my own eyes. White bean guy. I bring my face closer to my phone droid's monitor, rub my eyes hard and look again, but nothing has changed. The top rankings have completely changed. Up until now, I've never been able to get above 5th place. And you're telling me I'm second all of a sudden? And in first place is Tajirin, who had been up until now had been 4th. I immediately know what happened. Top 3 names have vanished. Takanoi, Hanasono, and Bob Lee. The 3 cheat suspects who I fought against to help Frau, well, they're nowhere to be found in the top 50. Right? Yeah. I'm not totally satisfied by how all this ended. My phone droid immediately dials Frau. She's not picking up. Knowing her, she probably just doesn't want to answer. If I keep trying, I might be able to annoy her into having Rosetta open her Rosetta bot answer. Considering she's constantly holed up in her room, I know she's more than capable of answering.
はい。
やっと出た。っていうか、顔色ひどいね。風邪でもひいた？
Frau looks even more ghastly than usual. The dark circles under her eyes are worse than normal, too. Well, whatever. Let's get to the subject at hand. You know, not the important aspect of her health or anything.
聞きたいんだけど、
Video games.
キルバラのリーダーボード上位3人バンした？
Frau nods slightly at my question.
証拠は見つかったの？
チート検索ツールじゃ証拠見つからなかった。
じゃあなんで？
Frau hesitates.
何があった？
その東京のサークルの仲間に上位3人の家行かせた。話聞きに。
Wow, she really sent them over.
そしたら死んでた。
え？
Excuse me?
3人とも自宅で死んでた。
本当に？
私の仲間が自宅訪ねたら部屋から異臭がするとか大家さんが 本人と連絡つかないとか言ってて、で大家さんに頼んで部屋開けてもらったら、そこでしかも死後半年経ってたって。
いやいやいや、
Half a year ago? That's nuts. I was literally just fighting them a few days ago.
冗談だよね。
Frau shakes her head.
3人とも自分の PC の前に突っ伏して死んでたって。
I mean, that is the way to go, right? You're gonna die doing what you love. Awful. Frau describes how their phone droids were connected to their PCs.
死因は心臓発作と脳一血と餓死で全然違うけど。
Starvation. We're almost 20 years into the 21st century. Someone starved to death in this era? It's... yeah. Believe it or not, some countries are worse to live in than others. Starvation is a thing. Frau shakes her head. I know this in Japan. Whatever. It's the way he said that was like, yeah, it happens. I guess it's rare in Japan.
警察から聞いた話だけど、3人に現実での接点なんて何もなかった。
でも3人とも半年前っていう同じ時期に同じような死に方をして、
Again, I call bullshit.
今まで誰にも発見されなかった。
Those aren't similar ways. Like, maybe by similar ways, he means circumstantially similar ways, like they all died in the same position, in the same location. Not same location, but like their own homes. I think that's what he means by similar ways. Because if he's talking about cause of death,
3人とも
no,
PC はつけっぱなし
they're
だった
very different.
みたい。
死体がゲームをプレイしてたとでも。
Just the thought of playing against a bunch of corpses sends chills down my spine. But that's not realistic. This isn't a horror film.
誰かが上位3人のアカウントを乗っ取ってプレイしてたんだろう。
But to what end? And if the accounts had been taken, isn't it possible that all three were actually murdered?
だからとにかくその3人のアカウントはバンしといたわけだが。
チーターかどうかは分からずか。流し込まれたウイルスはどうなった？
除去したはず。
アカウントを乗っ取った人は何がしたかったんだろうな。中身が入れ替わったのは少なくとも半年前になるわけだけど、気になるのは半年前の時点で3人は上位に君臨していたし、ファイトスタイルも特に変わったわけじゃなかったってこと。もし入れ替わっていたなら、アカウントを乗っ取ったやつはそれまでの高野愛や花園やボブリーのファイトスタイルをそっくりコピーしたとしか思えない。
But is that even possible?
ちなみにニュース見た？
ニュース？
キルバラとは関係なさそうでちょっとあるわけだが。
何？
最終話が。
最終話？
The final episode. Numbers appear on my phone droid screen. Each second it counts down closer to 0. Countdown until solar disturbance arrives. That's the site name. Enthusiasts around the world are freely cooperating to gather and manage information. People participating are rather skilled. They accurately predicted the magnetic storm in America the other day. According to the site, the one in America was just the beginning. A bigger one will soon hit the world. They estimate that'll happen about 2.5 months from now. That'd be in November. But what are the site managers? Where are the site managers obtaining such precise information from? Could it be NASA? I scoff and prepare to remove the countdown from the monitor. Suddenly, my phone droid notifies me of an incoming call. As soon as I answer, a video chat boots up.
セノミヤです。
Senomiya, currently on a work trip to Aichi Prefecture's factory, appears on screen. However, behind her is not the factory, but the inside of her car.
どうした？
ニュースはご覧になりましたか？
いや、
ネット上に流出しました。
流出？雷か？
いえ、ガンバレルの最終話です。
The moment I understand the meaning of those words, I'm hit by an intense urge to click my tongue. I mean, he did though. I literally heard him do that. What? Urge to click my tongue.
見つかった。
He did that.
今さら。
4年越しの亡霊といったところですね。
君が冗談を言うとは意外だな。
流出させた人物の特定については調査するよう手配しました。
私も内容を確認する。
今から東京に戻ります。
そうしてくれ。
I hang up and lean back deep into my chair. Stare up at the dull fluorescent light on the ceiling.
タイミングが絶妙すぎる。糸を引いているのは誰だ？
アキちゃん。
Tweeps. Oh, Sue. Tennis ran 27-0. Heck yeah. I run into Akio's room to find her sitting on her bed, staring at her phone droid.
見た。
She doesn't respond to me. She's just staring at the screen. I guess she's watching it as we speak. After receiving word from Frau that the final episode of Gunbarrel has leaked, I ran through the rain to get here. She didn't need me to tell her. I sat next to Akio and looked at her phone droid. The leaked video is 4 minutes and 30 seconds long. Since it's incomplete, there's no sound. Most of the cuts are rough drafts. Oh god. It's so creepy. Only a small portion of it is in color. They look like storyboards edited in sequence. By the time I start watching, the heroine Rosetta is praying atop a massive tower. Scene soon shifts, and all the robots' power sources, the heroes and villains alike, are rampaging. Hundreds of robots begin to move without their pilots on board and head toward the tower-like structure.
グランドオベリスク起動エレベーターだよ。
I guess it's not a tower. An orbital elevator. I recall seeing those words show up in the Kimijima report from below. Also, I like how it's called the Grand Obelisk, and it's Kaiba's space elevator. Kaiba had Obelisk the Tormentor. It's very loose connection there, but I made it. Those are the kinds of connections I make.
第2シーズンはこのグランドオベリスクが主な舞台になってて。
The unmanned robots that gather at the base of the tower begin to jump into the blast furnace located there.
何これ。
Like, that is chilling. A robot mass suicide? Soon after, the Grand Obelisk begins to glow. And from its tip, located even further past the geostationary satellite, it fires a laser beam. This beam hits the sun, piercing a black dot onto its surface. It's the same. The sun entered a period of maximum activity in 2012, Kimijima Report number 3. The aim of Project Atom is to artificially trigger a solar disturbance by directly interfering with the sun. It's the same. The sun starts to explode, throwing intense fiery energy all across nearby space. This energy inevitably reaches Earth. It's the same. God, it's so creepy. Due to the solar disturbance and mass confusion on the ground, the death toll is set to rise 5 billion. It's the same. The solar disturbance obliterates Elgazar and the Anubis organization. They're the primary antagonists of the series. At the same time, all humans, save for the few that had taken shelter underground, perish. It's the same. Committee of 300 plans to evacuate a portion of the elite to shelters underground. It's the same. Rosetta uses up all of her energy and finally collapses. Genki stands before a ruined world as the screen fades to black. The world has been saved. The end. Oh god, it chills me every time.
何
That's so
これ。
so chilling.
これで終わり。こんなの頑張れるじゃないよ。
Akio's eyes are red. She's clearly been on the brink of tears since the beginning of the middle of the video. The beginning of the middle of the video. I can read! I blinked multiple times. I don't know why, but I feel exhausted after watching this 4.5 minute long video. My body is trembling. I'm not as attached to this anime as Akiho is. But why did Frau's mom run away without broadcasting this final episode? Why did 13 people die right before the broadcasting of the final episode? This smells just like Kokimijima. I feel someone's dying resolution after being chased by an invisible enemy while trying desperately to signal something. Propaganda. It wouldn't be unusual for the Committee of 300 to be involved in the making of the Gun Barrel anime. Hell, this leaked final episode looks like it was taken straight out of Kimijima Report number 3. I did it! I did the thing! All right, I'm calling here. I did the thing. I'm on the thing. I did it. I'm on the other one. Yay! All right. So this is all new. Starting next time. I'm intrigued. Also, I like that there's gonna be more Juna. I like Juna. She is the bestest. Bye.